Welcome to Let's Play Penumbra Overture. I'm going to read this part and then get into the intro afterwards. There are things I need of you, things you may not understand, and may not wish to do, but please do not make the same mistakes that I did. My father, Howard, deserted me before I was born. I could claim the loss of my mother, and the letter I received after her funeral blinded me to what I had to do. It would be a lie. Human nature sealed my downfall. My name is Philip. If we are lucky, then by the time you receive this, I will be dead. If fate frowns, we all perish. Sorry about that. That little opening bit runs right when you start the game, so I had to jump straight into that. Welcome again to Let's Play Penumbra Overture. I was actually going to skip over the Penumbra games because I know a lot of other people have done Let's Plays of them, and I try not to do too many games that I know there's a flood of other versions of Let's Plays out there for. But since I enjoyed the first Amnesia game and its in-depth interaction with all sorts of random objects in the physics engine, the ability to move boxes, barrels, and other things to make barricades and to climb, and since I noticed that the second Amnesia game diverted away from that a little bit, I have no complaints against the second Amnesia game. I really enjoyed it. That was just my one. I had the one or two minor complaints of the loss of the inventory system and that objects were not as interactive. That all the doors, all the cabinets, a lot of things I just couldn't touch, and to me it broke the immersion a little. But I really enjoyed the second Amnesia game, so that's no complaint there. But since the Penumbra games are often applauded for having the interaction there with barrels, boulders, and other objects, I figured that it would be fun for me to go back and play through them too. But I will go ahead and get started here and not ramble too much. I'm gonna go with normal. I've never played this game, but I have seen someone else play it. But yeah, I'm gonna quit rambling. My story began in February, year 2000.
For my part in this allegory, I'm not going to make the same mistakes my father made. Howard vanished from my mother's life before I was even in it, so when he sent me a letter a few days after Mum's funeral, it was the first I'd ever heard from him. Pity he was dead. Writing from beyond the grave must be a genetic habit in my bloodline. His letter contained a key, instructions, pleas for forgiveness. I figured the dead don't have much use for absolution, so I turned to his prophetic passing, which he inexplicably expected to come any day. Clearly averse to explanations, my father preferred to leave directions to a bank on Mayfair I'd never even heard of. In that bank was a safety deposit box in his name, and myself as executor. Of course, I went, as he knew I would. I discovered that despite the evidence, he'd been legally declared dead almost 30 years ago, and so the old book and collection of notes I found had, in the eyes of the law, been mine all this time. My father's instructions were to burn the documents, raise no further questions. But that was his error. No man's immune to the shameful trappings of curiosity, and my humanity got the better of me. The university I taught at was world-renowned for two things: physics and linguistics. I represented the first, and the man who stood for the second was stumped by my recent acquisition. The book was indecipherable. The notes, however, showed a location somewhere in uninhabited northern Greenland. It took me almost a year to book the last flight I'd ever take. As I watched civilization disappear along with Heathrow, I realised my father had disappeared 3 decades ago, almost to the day, and I considered in turn what it was that I was leaving behind. We landed on a strip of ice a few feet wide, and within minutes I was pulling away on a chartered boat, beginning the 12-hour journey that would lead me into my past.
Chances are that I can pick things up with the left mouse. If you use a mouse to pick things up in real life, You might be a mouse. Okay, there we go. Haha. That's the sort of random interaction I need. Look at this. Can of soup. Woohoo! You know, for being an unopened can of soup, that sounds suspiciously empty. Not that I have thrown many cans of soup in my day. Oof. Apologies. I'm gonna have to fix a couple of the graphics options there. I had to. That's gonna require a restart, so I'll fix that later. I had to tinker with some stuff in between the test. I'm certain this map's a good decade or so out of date, but landmarks don't change much in Greenland, so I've got a pretty decent idea of where I'm heading. I had to change a few things between the recording test and this because the software was being a little twitchy. A book. Okay. I think I left my torch. Well, we know he's British. He calls it a torch. This chair is going into the bed. This chair is not going into the bed. This chair is going to scoot out of my way slightly, though, because I need to be able to get into things. Yes, because we've seen what happens when they let me get into things. Dearest Eric, just a quick note before you set sail and leave me once... Eric? Leave me once again. Thought I was Philip. Who is Eric? I've left you a little something to remember me by in the chest at the foot of your bed. I really don't know why you still only have one bed on board. Taking shifts because of it is no way to get your rest. But what does a fisherman's wife know of a life at sea? Oh, this is to the fisherman. I'll be praying every night for you to make the catch you need so that you can come home to me safely and soon. Please don't be gone for 5 weeks like last time. I know I might nag sometimes, but I do love you, you know. I've washed those overalls of yours. I know you'll get them covered in assorted fish parts in no time, but I still feel better knowing they've had a wash. Before I forget, the Henriksons in the village have asked me to see if you'll be coming by any trout, but I said they were mostly out of season. If you do happen upon any, don't say anything. Stow them well in the ice, and I'll do something special with them to celebrate when you come home to me. The ship's captain deserves a little special treatment once in a while. Take care, my love. Okay, how do I exit that? Okay. The escape key is going to be getting a lot of use there. I'm going to have to turn up the mouse sensitivity too. Like, my full range of motion is not even a 180-degree spin. I want the flashlight, not the emergency glow stick. Gonna go ahead and tweak that up real quick. Wrong menu control. There we go. The frame rate will be a bit better next time. The options require a restart, and there's no way for me to start and stop recording midway. I mean, I still don't have the software for that. Need to ask somebody. Ooh, I found batteries. Not what I was looking for. Flashlight. I mean, glow stick. Where is my brain this evening? I apologize. Could come in handy if the torch runs out of batteries. Don't glow sticks traditionally run out of glow too with time? Then again, you know, it depends on how much time passes within the game world. As I stepped off the boat, setting out into the blizzard that had formed around me, I realized how utterly devoted I'd been to the discovery of my father's past. I just had no idea what to expect. Soon enough, my concerns were justified. I don't know whether I lost my orientation or my spirit first, but I lost feeling in my extremities soon after, and new hypothermia was setting in. I started looking for shelter. So cold. Don't know where I am. Need shelter soon. Just going to dig into this wall here. My entire head went numb a long time ago, but I can still hear the wind roaring past, or is that some kind of animal in the distance? Dig, 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 dig. This is not working. I'm gonna go this way. It occurs to me that that snowdrift there is floating slightly off the ground. Slight graphical anomaly. Just gonna roll with it. Gonna assume there's only one direction to run, and... What is that? I don't care. I need shelter. It's frozen shut. Needs something to break in. And, that right there is an example of the sort of physics interaction that I really enjoy from these games. Amnesia logic. When in doubt, hit it with a rock. Best logic. Do not apply this logic to real life. Hitting people with rocks does not get you what you want. Unless what you wanted was to go to jail for assault with a rock. I can't remember what size a rock has to be to cross the felony misdemeanor line, though. I used to know that. I don't know why that I used to know that. And I just missed him saying something, didn't I? Whoops. This is what happens when I get distracted. Need to get in there. Get into the warmth. The warmth of this random cave that should not be warm. It'll be warmer. Oh. Well, that sounded unpleasant. Did I fall off the ladder? Another ominous whispering. Why are you whispering in my ear, ominous voice? My head. Can't believe I fell that far and survived. Although, looking around, maybe I didn't. What is this? Whoa. Well, I would have figured he just slipped off a perfectly good ladder because of hypothermia, but no, the ladder broke. And why is there a hole? Why is there a hole here? I'm glad there's a grating over the hole. I question why the hole is there in the first place. Empty boxes of ammunition. What is this place? A barrel I can mess with for no good reason. I'm dancing with a barrel. I'm dancing with a barrel. Okay, that's enough dancing. The barrel is a good dancer. Always good to pick up random metal rods you find lying on the ground. A hammer. Oh joy, I have an inventory. I can swing this hammer. Oh, that's right. I forgot the Penumbra game actually has weapons. I mean, not a giant padlock. I kept the padlock off the locker. I forgot that it actually has weapons. I'm so used to the flare. The Amnesia game, 24-hour ration pack. I'm used to the Amnesia games and the concept of you being completely defenseless. So the thought of my character having a weapon is still a little bit new to me. Changing the angle of the microphone a little bit, I noticed a couple times it picked up my breath, and it usually doesn't do that. I had it a little bit too far in front of my face. Something in the way. Is it this barrel? Nope. I almost knocked it over. That's not gonna work, is it? Oh, well, hello there. I'm gonna actually have to get used to big... I forgot crouching gave me night vision. You can tell I haven't played this before. How do I uncrouch? I'm stuck. I've already broken the game and I'm not even out of the first room. This is not a good... Whoa. Well, there's a Another flare. Okay. Well, we're at the 15-minute mark, and I'm already stuck. I will figure this out, and I will, well, I mean, you'll see me figure it out because it'll be in the next episode, but I mean, I'll pause here, and I will see you next time. I'm tripping all over myself this time, aren't I?